Civil Code of the Philippines, Easement, Section 5, Easement of Light and View. Article 667. No part owner may, without the consent of the others, open through the party wall any window or apertures of any kind. Article 668. The period of prescription for the acquisition of an easement of light and view shall be counted. 1. From the time of the opening of the window, if it's through a party wall. Or 2. From the time of the formal prohibition upon the proprietor of adjoining land or tenement if the window is through a wall on the dominant estate. Article 669. When the distances in Article 670 are not observed, the owner of a wall which is not a party wall adjoining a tenement or piece of land belonging to another can make in it openings to admit light at the height of the ceiling joints or immediately under the ceiling, and of the size of 30 centimeters square, and in every case with an iron grating embedded in the wall and with a wire screen. Nevertheless, the owner of the tenement or property adjoining the wall in which the openings are made can close them should he acquire part ownership thereof, if there be no stipulation to the contrary. He can also obstruct them by constructing a building on his land or by raising a wall thereon contiguous to that having such openings unless an easement of light has been acquired. Article 670. No window, apertures, balconies, or other similar projections which afford a direct view upon or towards an adjoining land or tenement can be made without leaving a distance of 2 meters between the wall in which they are made and such contiguous property. Neither can side or oblique views upon or towards such conterminous property be had, unless there be a distance of 6 centimeters. The non-observance of this distance does not give rise to prescription. Article 671. The distances referred to in the preceding article shall be measured in cases of direct views from the outer line of the wall when the openings do not project from the outer line of the latter when they do, and in cases of oblique views from the dividing line between the two properties. Article 672. The provisions of Article 670 are not applicable to buildings separated by a public way or alley, which is not less than 3 meters wide, subject to special regulations and local ordinances. Article 673. Whenever by any title a right has been acquired to have direct views, balconies, or belvederes overlooking an adjoining property, the owner of the servant estate cannot build thereon at less than a distance of 3 meters to be measured in the manner provided in Article 671. Any stipulation pertaining distances less than those prescribed in Article 670 is void. Section 6. Drainage of buildings. Article 674. The owner of a building shall be obliged to construct its roof or covering in such manner that the rainwater shall fall on his own land or on a street or public place and not on the land of his neighbor, even though the adjacent land may belong to two or more persons, one of whom is the owner of the roof. If if even if it should fall on his own land, the owner shall be obliged to collect the water in such a way as not to cause damage to the adjacent land or tenement. Article 675. The owner of a tenement or a piece of land subject to the easement of receiving water falling from roof may build in such manner as to receive the water upon his own roof or give it another outlet in accordance with local ordinances and customs, and in such a way as not to cause any nuisance or damage whatever to the dominant estate. Article 676. Whenever the yard or court of a house is surrounded by other houses, and it is not possible to give an outlet through the house itself to the rainwater collected thereon, the establishment of an easement of drainage can be demanded, giving an outlet to the water at the point of the contiguous lands or tenements where its egress may be easiest, and establishing a conduit for the drainage of such manner as to cause the least damage to the servant estate after payment of the proper indemnity. Section 7. Intermediate distance and works for certain construction and plantings. Article 677. No construction can be built or plantings made near fortified places or fortresses without compliance with the conditions required in special laws, ordinances, and regulations relating thereto. Article 678. No person shall build any aqueduct, well, sewer, furnace, forge, chimney, stable, depository of corrosive substances, machinery, or factory which by reason of its nature or products is dangerous or noxious without observing the distance prescribed by the regulations and customs of the place, and without making the necessary protective works subject in regard to the matter thereof to the condition prescribed by such regulations. These prohibitions cannot be altered or renounced by stipulation on the part of the adjoining proprietors. In the absence of regulations, such precautions shall be taken as may be considered necessary in order to avoid any damage to the neighboring lands or tenements. Article 679. No trees shall be planted near a tenement or piece of land belonging to another except at the distance authorized by the ordinances or customs of the place, and in the absence thereof, at a distance of at least 2 meters from the dividing line of the estate if tall trees are planted, and at a distance of at least 50 centimeters if shrubs or small trees are planted. Every landowner shall have the right to demand that trees hereafter planted at a shorter distance from his land or tenement be uprooted. The provisions of this article shall also apply to trees which have grown spontaneously. Article 680. If the branches of any trees should extend over the neighboring estate, tenement, garden, or yard, the owner of the latter shall have the right to demand that they be cut off in so far as they may be spread over his property, and if it be the root of the neighboring tree which should penetrate into the land of another, the latter may cut them off himself within his property. Article 681. fruits naturally falling upon adjacent land belong to the owner of the land. Section 8. Easement against nuisance. Every building or piece of land is subject to the easement which prohibits the proprietor or possessor from committing nuisance through noise, jarring, offensive odor, smoke, heat, dust, water, glare, and other causes. Article 683. Subject to zoning, health, police, and other laws and regulations, factories and shops may be maintained provided the least possible annoyance is caused to the neighborhood. Section 9. Lateral and subjacent support. Article 684. No proprietor shall make such excavation upon his land as to deprive any adjacent land or building of sufficient lateral or subjacent support. Article 685. Any stipulation or testamentary provision allowing excavation that cause danger to an adjacent land or building shall be void. Article 686. The legal easement of lateral and subjacent support is not only for buildings standing at the time the excavation are made, but also for construction that may be erected. Article 687. Any proprietor intending to make any excavation contemplated in the three preceding articles shall notify all owners of adjacent land. Chapter 3, Voluntary Easement. Article 688. Every owner of a tenement or piece of land may establish thereon the easement which he may deem suitable, and in the manner and form which he may deem best, provided he does not contravene the laws, public policy, or public order. Article 689. The owner of a tenement or piece of land, the usufruct of which belongs to other, may impose thereon, without the consent of the usufructuary, any servitudes which will not injure the right of usufruct. Article 690. Whenever the naked ownership of a tenement or piece of land belongs to one person and the beneficial ownership to another, no perpetual voluntary easement may be established thereon without the consent of both owners. Article 691. In order to impose an easement on an undivided tenement or piece of land, the consent of all the co-owners shall be required. The consent given by some only must be held in abeyance until the last one of all the co-owners shall have expressed his conformity. But the consent given by one of the co-owners separately from the others shall bind the grantor and his successors not to prevent the exercise of the right granted. Article 692. The title, and in a proper case, the possession of an easement acquired by prescription shall determine the rights of the dominant estate and the obligations of the servant estate. In default thereof, the easement shall be governed by such provisions of this title as are applicable thereto. Article 693. Article 693. If the owner of the servant estate should have bound himself upon the establishment of the easement to bear the cost of the work required for the use and preservation thereof, he may free himself from this obligation by renouncing his property to the owner of the dominant estate.